Well, I guess if you're not like really, really near and dear to us, you don't know what we're about to tell y'all. But some big changes happened in Lizzy's life mainly, but it's also affected me greatly, and all her family and friends. And it's, we live a whole life of badass stuff. Like we've experienced some of the coolest things you ever experienced in life, and every now and then you just get humbled. The good Lord, hits you with something very hard. And I feel like He always gives His hardest battles to His strongest soldiers. And I'm going to let her tell y'all what's going on, and I'll help her through it. But it's not good. We just want all our fans to know that we're going through some things right now, and it's not going to be easy. Lizzy plans to race as much as possible. I don't really see her getting to race a lot. I'm gonna have to fly in and out and race because that's how we keep our lights on at our house. So, but I'll let her tell y'all. It's not good though.
I think I'm just gonna start from the beginning and explain to everyone and just give some awareness while I'm speaking about it. But I don't know. Some girls want to do these changes, and this is one thing I wanted to do. So it's like I started about 2 years ago. I done breast augmentation. Didn't work out, so I had to do a revision of it, and I went to a doctor in Madison, Mississippi. He did an awesome job. Was very happy with it. He fixed my first situation, and I had my second revision done in June, and I don't know, a couple months down the road, and about, let's see, I want to say, I don't know, what can we estimate, January? June, July, August, September, October, November. I want to say 6 months later, maybe December, January, I noticed like a marble-sized lump in my breast, and I was like, oh, maybe scar tissue, like I didn't think nothing of it, and
It definitely felt like scar tissue.
yeah, well, we thought about it, and I actually called the place that I had it done, and they said nothing to worry about, you should be okay. We didn't see nothing in the pathology report or whatever that I don't know, made us alarm. But so then I had to do my annual at my ladies doctor, and I went in and I brought it up to his attention, and he said, oh, have you been drinking a lot of caffeine? Why don't you start taking vitamin E? And as you know, so this is the biggest thing. I'm going to pause for a second. So when you go into, I'm just say OBGYN, your ladies doctor, this is for the women out there. I know we got men watching here, but they always ask you, do you have breast cancer in your family? That's always like a must question, like that you fill out on paper when you enter the office. And I put yes, every time I go to one. And so I think that gets so overlooked now that, I'm in this situation, but I think it gets so overlooked. But I'll get back to that. My doctor was aware I had breast cancer in my history, but he didn't do any tests, no like ultrasound, no double up on like checking on everything. He just, this is when we were getting ready to leave for Australia. So he said, all right, we'll just keep an eye on it. And if it gets any worse, then we'll, go ahead and run tests. Well, we had to leave for Australia. So we were gone for a month. And when I came back from Australia, this was March, beginning of March or end of March. Yeah.
5 weeks.
5 weeks. It went from a marble size to almost pretty much like 3 centimeters to measure, a cutie size. And it was tender. And, one thing he told me, he's like, oh, well, breast cancer don't really have any pain or tenderness when you feel a lump in your breast. So I was like, okay, maybe it's one of those fibroid cystic deals that some women get, and I'm prone to getting cysts. I had cysts on my ovaries, and I fought a lot about that. So I thought maybe it was something to have to do with something like that. So when I came back from Australia, I made another appointment. I told Kai, I was like, look, this is just, it's getting too big. Like, there's got to be something going on. So I ended up going back to the doctor, and he did a examination and felt it. He's like, all right, we're going to have to do some tests. So he kind of urgently got me in. I went from an ultrasound to a mammogram that same day. So they didn't like what they saw in the ultrasound, and then I did the mammogram that day. I never had a mammogram in my life. Normally, that's another thing. They don't do mammograms unless you're 40 years old, I think, is the age until they start doing that for women. So that's another thing. That's a delay. But so I did that. They didn't like the results of the mammogram. They said, we're going to have to do a biopsy. So I think the next day I came in for a biopsy, which the doctor, she was super nice, and but she did it. I never had one of these done. It was uncomfortable, but not bad. She took, some specimens off the lump, and then what she told me, she said, well, your lymph nodes look pretty swollen, so I'm going to go ahead and get some from there as well. So she went ahead and got that. So when she was done with the biopsy, they put these clips in, which is like a marker where they took pieces from those areas. So like if the surgeon's got to go back, they know what areas to look at, or if they do any more scans, they'll see those there. Then I had to do another mammogram right after that. And so I think that was Friday when I had that done. So I had to leave to go testing in Virginia. And I left Saturday, got to North Carolina, and then we drove to Virginia to go test. And I know Monday was the day I was going to get the call for results. And I don't know, it didn't have my mind. I actually felt, you know what? Everything's going to be okay. I felt okay,
You're 32 years old.
Well, yeah, I was like, we're good. So I go, I think we did our first test hit, and it was good. We were good, and waited until we were making the next one. Then I got my phone call from the doctor. It was from the doctor himself. So it was not his nurse, so I guess it was a little bit more, it's going to be more serious than I thought, because coming from him. But he did tell me that what they found was definitely cancer. So here's the results of everything from the biopsy. So I am pretty much, at that moment, they call it a triple negative breast cancer. So it has no hormone related receptors. And it's a grade 3, and it's key-67, it's 90%. So that's how fast this cancer is growing and how aggressive it is. So it's pretty much one of the most fastest aggressive growing breast cancers you can have. That was something I didn't want to hear. So that was very hard for me. I couldn't do nothing at the time. Our next move was to go speak to my doctors and know the next move, where I needed to go from there. When I got that news, it's like, I don't know. It's like I kind of felt numb. I didn't know how really to act. My dad, my mom was there with me, and we were in the middle of testing. It's hard to how you tell everyone, what do you do? I don't know. It hit so weirdly. I didn't know what to do. Couldn't believe that I actually say, oh, I have cancer, I was in disbelief, honestly. Then when we had a chance to just sit down, I had to get my dad in there and tell him the news. It was a hard situation. We were all quiet for a while, and then I finally called Kai. I don't know. I didn't cry, which is weird. It was just I don't know, numb kind of feeling, I guess. And I don't know. All I could do is just, I guess, at that time, call doctors and see where I go from there. And, we had close family friends that, we had friends that gone through something similar like that, or, that worked in the hospitals, and they kind of direct us what direction to go. But in the beginning, it was just so overwhelming from all this information that you have to go through so many tests and steps before you can even start treatment. Of course your thoughts are, all right, let's cut them off and get it out.
What all we have to do? You have to do what? MRI of your breast.
Yeah.
MRI of your brain.
Right.
Echo of your heart.
Yeah. So the first step was, the main thing was to get the PET scan done. So after the biopsy is done, they kind of know, they read the actual tissue, what kind of cancer it is, which is the triple negative. That's how they could tell from reading the actual cells of that tissue. And then you do the PET scan, which the PET scan is, so I go in the hospital, I'll just tell you how it is. And I never had one done, but it's kind of similar to like an MRI or a CT scan. And so you lay down and they inject you with some kind of like a glucose deal. So cancer is drawn to glucose, sugar. So they inject you with that and it goes through your body, your whole body. So you sit in a room after they put that in you, you sit in a room for an hour and you wait till it spreads, and then you go into the CT or PET scan, and they, are able to bring you in and out, and then but it brings the cells, the cancer cells, more, I guess, lights it up more. I guess it makes it more aggressive. So I had that done. Whatever. What did you say? This Monday?
Yeah, a PET scan pretty much locates any solid tumors in your body.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cancers, right?
Yeah. So Monday, I did that Monday. So we were waiting. So you get the actual same day results. So we didn't have to wait any delay for that. But all I was praying is that it didn't spread, since it is a fast-growing cancer. We were, just hoping it didn't spread anywhere. I don't know. I don't know how long I had this for. I mean, I guess saying from what?
To explain what she's talking about, so if the growth rate gets over 30%, that's when it's alarming. Like, they're going to move you to the front of the line. They got to start procedures and everything immediately. And that's 30%. That's alarming. Lizzy's is at 97%. So this thing is really, really going fast.
Yeah, especially when it's in your lymph nodes, lymphatic draining system. So it pretty much, it's in there, and then it can go anywhere throughout your body from there. They did see a 3.3 centimeter solid suspicious mass when they did the biopsy. But so here we are on Monday, and I'm waiting for the results. Well, they have this My Chart thing. They normally can send your lab results in, and I just decide, I always keep logging into it now. I'm just glued to it, and I checked it and my results came back, but I didn't get a call from the doctor yet. Of course, I'm going to go straight to, diagnosing myself, reading this stuff, see what stands out. I should kind of, but I read it and it said, pretty much, I'll just tell you, we confirmed it with several people, and then the doctor finally told me that it definitely has moved to my liver. And at that point, they called it metastatic. How do you say it? I'm learning these terms here. Metastatic. Well, pretty much the cancer, stage 4 breast cancer that has moved now to the other parts of the body. So got that news. That was the day that I actually finally broke down. It's the hardest thing because when you start chemo, the doctors are insisting we start. So Friday, they made the appointments. This coming Friday, I will begin my port installed, liver biopsy, so we can see what kind of cancer is on the liver. They're pretty sure it's from the breast, but it's good to check, not cut corners. Then get my first round of treatment of chemo. So that will all happen Friday. The thing that bothered me too on Monday is how fast we're moving. At some point, I wanted to have kids in my life. I know I'm busy with racing and stuff, and I hadn't had that chance. And as a woman, you want to have, that's just part of being a woman, And there is a way to do that, which you could freeze your eggs before you start chemo. But I didn't have enough time to do that since I am on birth control, and I can't do that. I don't have enough time to freeze my eggs because I would have to wait another 7 or 10 days to do that, and I don't have time left to do that. So that was that was hard for me to hear that news when I went to the fertility doctor as well. But I went to go see another doctor that following day. when I went to see, I don't know, you get different things from different doctors. Like you go to a fertility doctor and you would think, hey, maybe they give me some other hope or chance or something, you know? And then I'm really thankful for this doc. Can we say doctors' names or?
I think that girl did in her video.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah. Good friend of ours referred us to Philip Lay. Well, actually, Kai told me about him, and he's...
Dennis Sweet.
Oh, yeah, Dennis Sweet, yeah. He told us about Philip Lay, and he's been so adamant. He's been on it. He's been pushing these doctors. Like, every time we roll up into an office, they already know what's going on. Like, they're on it, you know? So I've been so thankful for that. But the next day, he said, you have to see Tammy Young, which he works with the first oncologist that we worked with. They're in the same office, but I wanted to see her as well. And I'm actually glad I really did. She actually brought up that I do have one other option that might not fully work, but it's worth a shot, it's a shot they give me every 4 weeks. It's called Zoladex, which puts my ovaries in hibernation. So that was nice that she gave me an option like that. She was very, she explained things very well, like the medicine and how chemo was going to work and stuff like that. So she gave me a little light at the end of the tunnel with the fertility part, which is crazy. You would think the fertility doctor would tell you something like that, but she didn't. But my oncologist did, and I'm sure she had to deal with a lot of patients that had to deal with something hard like that in the meantime with dealing with cancer. So that is that with that. But moving on to chemo, that's going to be a hard, life-changing experience. I honestly don't know. I don't know what I'm in for. I don't know what my body thinks. I don't think they think it knows what it's in for. It's going to be really, really, really rough, especially the cancer I have, which is aggressive. And we talked to a friend of ours that had chemo done, but I don't know. Everyone acts different. So I just pray that I can be able to be strong and handle it. I know the first chemo session, they're going to hit me with all the drugs first, like all the medicines, like you got Taxol, toxin, all these words. And then you got one that Kai calls it the Red Devil. Yeah, which is probably, they said I probably won't do that until close to the end. They hit it hard.
Like 12 weeks of the first one.
But, you know, I'm learning all this stuff. You know, of course, when you get this, you're going to be researching. The worst thing that I did do was Google because, you know, it did say people that had what I had, like stage 4 and like triple negative, like your days are numbered pretty much, 5 years to live. Yeah, it runs in back of my mind, like, you know, even less than 5 years to live. It's just, man, it's scary. It's scary.
Data is based off of like 70-year-old people.
I know, but you never know. You know, now that I have it, you know, when I first found out about it, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, feel fine, feel good, and then you go, oh wait, I have cancer. It's like, you know, it hits you like a freight train. You know, I feel okay right now. I feel okay. Hopefully my body can stay strong through this. I got God on my side. I'm doing it through him, so I have faith. That's all that matters. And I feel like I have a great family and friends behind me and all the support. I've been having a lot of text messages and calls, and I feel bad that I haven't been able to answer all of them as quick as I want to. It's just been a lot lately going on, so I'm going to try my best to get back to everyone, but I appreciate everything and everyone reaching out and thinking about us. This is going to be a tough road that we're going to be going down, but I think we're going to get through it.
I mean, you ain't stopping. You killed a turkey today.
Yeah, that was another thing. So I did tell Kai, I said,
video coming soon, by the way.
yeah, I told Kai, I said, before I go on my chemo road or whatever you want to call it, journey, I want to kill a turkey because I haven't killed one yet, and that was on my bucket list. And
it's one of like the hardest things to do in Mississippi to do in 2 days.
Yeah, in 2 days. Yeah, literally 2 days.
She said, though, she's got faith in the good Lord, and I guess she's got faith in her because it was the easiest turkey hunt I ever been on.
Yeah, we had a
Worked out.
good friend of ours, very nice. He gave us the opportunity to come hunt on his land, and so it's just it was a cool story too. There was only one shell in that gun, basically, and we were able to pull it off. So it was meant to happen.
On that video, but
That's when you know it's a miracle. Several miracles.
Yeah, wound up. Yeah, just kind of meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
So,
pretty much gave Lizzy a gun. It wasn't even loaded, so.
but I don't know.
Worked
It made a story behind it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not just
I'm a
like, oh,
dumbass.
you know, set up.
Kai's a dumbass story. There's plenty of those.
Oh gosh. Well, and then so you know how chemo, there's so many side effects to chemo, like I've just been reading. Like honestly, it's like scary when you read this stuff. So like some of these medicines that I am gonna get in my chemo, like side effects, you're gonna get blistering skin or acne. This is just stuff that's listed. Loss of appetite or weight, darkened and thickened skin, mouth blistering, fatigue, like I don't know, some crazy stuff, but the main one is hair loss, and I know that's coming. That's going to be a big deal on me as well, but I know I got something more serious to fight, so hair is on my last things to worry about, I guess. But that's going to be a change for me. Okay.
Yep. And everybody thinks of
Okay.
Lizzy. They think of her long blonde hair and her all dolled up, makeup on. And
I'm going to have to figure it out. Hey, you guys see that wig right there? I ain't letting that.
That's what that one girl like on that other video.
Yeah, so she had all these different wigs, and you know, just watching that gives me like watching people like that. You know, I actually reached out to her on Instagram, and she messaged me back, and she's like an advocate, they call it, like very positive, and you know, gave me like support, and I saw her journey, and she made the best out of it, and that's what you got to kind of do. You know, you kind of can't just be dreary and like just lay in the bed and just curl up, and you got to just move on, go with it. You got to push through it. There's some people that said it's so hard that they actually stopped the chemo because they couldn't even handle it. So it's just, hopefully I can handle it, and I don't know what I'm in for. I'm scared about that, but Kai is going to see me out. This is my worst. This will be my worst, pretty much, right?
Seen you do number 2. I think that should be better.
I got my mom here. She's been supportive. My mom came from North Carolina. She's staying. So everyone's been really supportive. Can't ask for anything more. And Lacey, Kai's sister, came with nice gifts today and like prepared me for my chemo. I have these little, I don't know, she gave me all kinds of things.
There's all kind of things you gotta have when you get chemo. Like you gotta keep these mitts on your hands.
Yeah, so neuropathy you can get, like tingling in the hands and the feet.
For your feet too.
They have this thing called DigiCap, but honestly,
The stuff she's getting, it's not.
I don't think it's just worth even trying because
pretty much
it's gonna
looking
fall
at-
out anyway.
Pretty much looking at Lizzy losing all her hair in 2 weeks from the first treatment. So I think we'll probably have a head shaving party. Y'all get to see that on video.
Have a
I'm
nice
gonna do-
wig on standby.
Oh yeah, look, it's sitting right there if you want to pull it out.
I thought you was talking about Jack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna shave her dog.
yeah, Jackson's gotta get a little shaved.
Give him an old man haircut.
Can you believe? Oh my God.
We're
Can
gonna,
you imagine, actually?
we're gonna shave our son, Sunshine. He's gonna get it.
Sonny, are you actually gonna do that? Well, our friend Jake, hasn't shaved what in.
Yeah, our friend hadn't shaved his beard in 13 years. It was like down to here. And he told Lizzy that hair wasn't no big thing to him. That he was in this with her together, and he went home and shaved that beard off.
That was.
To be honest though, he looks like he's 10 times younger. Like, I think he ought to keep it. like
Yeah,
that.
it's crazy. So that meant a lot.
Yeah, so pretty much a week and a half ago, we thought Lizzy was probably the healthiest, most in shape person around here. And now, a week and a half later, she's got stage 4 breast cancer. So
One of the
That's a-
worst ones. Like
a
not
bad
even
week.
like a. This is another thing. last thing I want to touch base on about this whole deal is another test that they ran was a genetic test. And this is like what I would love to push in these clinics, like the OBGYN clinics. If you are checking yes for breast cancer history on your thing, I think it should be mandatory that every office should do a genetic test for breast cancer. Like that should just be hands down a mandatory thing. So I don't know why they don't take it bigger. They always, I think they overlook the younger ones too, as well, the younger women. I think something needs to change about that. So I don't know. I think through this journey, I want to try to do something to help research and push the matter of all this and try to get better awareness on this kind of stuff, because when I didn't have it, I didn't think of it, but when I have it, you get more aware of it. Now it's like, especially what I went through, you know, kind of getting overlooked, and it needs to be brought to attention, I think. So.
I mean, I feel like all you fellas should take a feel of your old lady's breast, see if you feel something. If you do, send it to the doctor. I mean, no matter how old they are. She's only 32 years old, so I mean, I don't mean that in no funny way either, but.
Well, and another thing, my doctor, he told me on the phone, he goes, out of my 40 years of experience of being an OBGYN, I never met a 32-year-old that had breast cancer. You gotta be kidding me. There's 20-year-olds that have it. Now that I'm aware, like I've joined these groups and stuff like that, and I've seen like more younger generations actually going through what I'm going through, even younger than me. So it's possible. It's definitely possible. Age is nothing. Don't matter. I don't believe in that. So they need to start checking their mandatory, what are they called, checkups or something. But hopefully through all this, I want to try to make a change of that and bring people more aware to it.
Yep. Y'all are seeing us a week and a half later. Like, we've been mad, we've cried, we've been confused.
Yeah, we went through.
We've been through everything for the last week and a half, but now we pretty much accepted that Lizzy has got a hard fight ahead of her, and the only thing she really needs is us 100% behind her, and we got to be strong. So she don't seem to be too scared of it.
Well, and then when I went testing, we were all sitting there dreary, like just, I don't know what you call it, like just, we didn't know what to do, honestly. We're all sitting down looking at each other, and the next doctor appointment they can get me in was that Wednesday. So I was like, Dad, I can't be miserable. I have to be strong through this right now. And I just say, you know what? I'm gonna get in that car and just finish this testing deal we were supposed to stay the whole week, but we made the plane ticket to leave to get there that Wednesday. So, but I finished testing, and yeah, this was an emotional deal for me. The car, we finally got the car working where, you know, I had trouble with the car just darting everywhere and stuff like that. And the car has finally got to the point where it was drivable, went straight almost every pass, felt so comfortable. The last pass I made, I knew it was the last pass of the test session. We were done after that. Car went straight down, felt so good. And when I pulled off onto the return road, like I just put it in park and sat there for a minute, and I started getting overwhelmed. Like my emotions started getting real deep, I guess you could say. Just telling myself I love being in the sea. I love racing with my family, Kai, and thinking like, of course, then the negative swoops on in and say, what if I don't get a chance to do this again, you know? And I started breaking down, and I got out of the car, and I saw my dad on the scooter, and he saw me tear up, and, you know, not a lot of people see my dad cry, but I see him a couple times, but this time he was crying, I was crying, we were hugging each other, and, you know, we kind of took off on the scooter, but it's just one of those moments. And then Kai, that was when I saw him when I came back. That was, we had a moment together as well, so I never see him ever. He hides his emotions like, forget it. I can't read them sometimes, so we had our moment in the closet, won't forget that night, and he was shooken up pretty good. Never seen him in that point either, so that was hard for us. really hard. I don't know what we're in for, like I said, but
Long road, it's something we gotta do. You can't just not worry about it.
yeah.
It's in you and it's not leaving, so you'll pump some poison through your body and kill it pretty much.
It's scary.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, that's one funny thing. We was up in the doctor's office and
This is how
so
my
far,
mind works.
Lizzy's the first patient to ever ask the chemo doctor what is chemo made of. You know, like I said, she's a health freak. She won't even drink an energy drink or nothing. So she's wanting to know what this stuff is they're pumping in her body. And the doctor says, pretty much, you know, thanks for making me feel like a dumbass, but I don't know. I know how it works, and I know what type I need to treat what kind of cancer you have, but nobody's ever asked me
Of course I asked that.
what chemo is made of. But in further investigation, some of it's made out of mustard gas.
Yeah, I researched that and I saw that. I was
Some of
like,
it's made out of bacteria.
a
Some of it's made from a yew tree, whatever it is. So there's all kind of different stuff that this stuff's made out of.
so weird. And then they always talk about radiation, caution, stand back, radiation, you know?
Yeah.
Then they, like I was talking to his sister the other night, and then they treat cancer with radiation. Like, it's so weird how they do that.
But yeah, so we're fighting stage 4 breast cancer that's moved into her liver. So if she wasn't young and she wasn't as healthy as she is now, she probably wouldn't have a shot. But the doctors are 100% confident that they can beat it because they're going to go at it very aggressive. And everybody should be able to take it because she was in good physical shape. She is young. And she don't have any other health problems. So I think she's got a really good shot at actually beating this stuff and living a long life. So we're going to listen to what they say. There's not one doctor that we've talked to that wasn't great. She talked to Dr. Baker first. He was a really cool guy.
Yeah,
Made us
very
laugh. He took her mind off having
Yeah, he
cancer
did
for
that
10
day,
minutes.
yeah.
But we ended up meeting us Philip Lay guy, which was referred to us by one of our close friends, Dennis Sweet. And just Philip guy, he messages her every 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, he was on the
I mean,
phone with me for like an hour and
Yeah.
20 minutes one night, just explaining
He
everything.
was on vacation and gave Lizzy his cell phone number to call him and
Yeah,
talk to her
it
for
was
like an
very
hour.
nice.
How long did you say? An hour and 45
Hour and 20
minutes?
minutes.
Yeah. So he's been really good. You know, everybody when you first get cancer, everybody that calls is go to MD Anderson. Go to
Yeah.
MD Anderson.
Well, he had training, I
Yeah.
think, with MD Anderson.
Yeah, but
so.
the doctors that we've met, like I was one of those people. I was like, we're not going nowhere but MD Anderson.
We can
Yeah.
drive 5 hours.
Well, I got my
4 times a week.
referral sitting right there,
So-
which to have all our ducks in a row, I did get approved. That's another thing. There's so much to you got to get a referral and you got to go through all the insurance and the pre-authorization since you're out of state, and it's just delay, and I don't have time is the problem. So
But this guy here is really good, and his oncologist name is Dr. Young. Right?
Yeah,
I
Tammy
haven't
Young,
met- I
yeah.
haven't met her yet, but
you like her very.
our personal friend, it's actually our banker. She just fought this same exact kind, except hers was stage 1.
Triple negative
triple
stage
negative
1.
breast cancer, and she used these same 2 people, and she loved them, and she's
Had
doing
success.
great. So she's back at work. Everything's good with her. So
They
Lizzy-
did say stage 4 isn't curable, but it's treatable.
Yeah. Lizzy kind of wants to stay here in Mississippi for now to get her treatment, and she's approved for MD Anderson, and who knows? I mean, we can get one chemo injection, and during that week we ain't got nothing else to do. We could go over to MD Anderson and get a second
Well,
opinion.
so that was something that we were told that if I started treatment here, that I wouldn't be able to go somewhere else. That's something we would have to verify.
You can go and get another opinion now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's these people they push things. Like,
Yeah, I think we have a great team.
yeah.
They.
The secretaries there, they actually watch Street Outlaws, so you know the doctors are in there ordering things that need to be done, like the MRI of her breast and MRI of her brain, and
Mhm.
the secretary's already saying, "I already done it." So, you know, they pull together and got Lizzy a month ahead of schedule just by doing things on their own before the doctor even ordered it, because
Yeah.
they know it's got to be done. They see it every day, and the doctor just kind of laughed about it. He said, "All right, guys, y'all got it then." You know? So I feel like Lizzy's probably at least a month ahead of schedule already, just because of the people we're using in
Yeah.
Mississippi right now. We really appreciate everything they're doing. So I just feel like Friday we start getting this chemo in and get the thing slowed down.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. 'Cause it's,
My uncle had colon cancer. He fought, what did he had? Colon and lymph, stage 4 colon cancer, but he had something. Oh, and the lymph nodes as well. He fought that for a while, but he said that the chemo reacted very well to his disease. So he told me on the phone, he's like, well, if you got that Musi gene, you hopefully that chemo will react good. You know?
What did they say?
Yeah.
they said something about the fastest growing cancer being the most vulnerable to chemo, right?
Did
Philip
tell you
Yeah. Pretty much the fastest growing cancer is the most vulnerable to chemo. So it's the fastest growing and it's the fastest to try to take you out, but it's also the easiest easiest cancer to kill with chemo. So that's one good thing about it. I guess you would just think of it like if it was slow growing, it had deeper roots or something, but this don't.
Right.
So
They said something about once they kind of like shrink the tumors and all the cancer to nothing, then, you know, you got these cancer lesions on the liver. Hopefully they shrink down, but if I still have leftover. So they wouldn't do this on older patients, I guess, depending on the health. Then they would go in, she told me this, Tammy told me, or Dr. Young, she told me that they'll go into the liver and do radiation lesions. Like they'll radiate I guess, spot treat radiation on those lesions.
It was like cauterizing them or something.
Yeah, I guess, but some with radiation, like killing specific spots on the liver. So that's also an option, but it's just that's gonna take time before I get there. So I don't know. So that's where we're standing at right now. We kind of kept quiet. I haven't been on my social media stuff lately here because of everything that's been going on, and
at time, doctor's something every 5 minutes.
yeah, like the other day, I went to the doctor to see Young. I'm so glad I did, but it was kind of like a last minute call. They were like, just go.
And I come home and she's gone.
Yeah, I was like,
The doctor called her. She had to go holler at us to see the doctor.
I'm pretty proud of myself with this blood test still, because like the first time I had a blood test, Kai saw me. I told him that I pass out. I have this tendency to pass out, but like I know what it is now because not eating that. Yeah, I took 2 other blood tests now. I was a champ. Like the last one I told Kai, because it was that random last minute doctor's appointment, and I was like, I had 4 vials taken out of me again. He's like, what? But I took it like a champ.
So
That's good.
you just have to see it to believe it. But the last time I took Lizzy to get blood, as soon as they put the needle in her arm, she passes out and goes to shaking and kicking and falls out of the chair. And finally we get her to wake up, and they lay her down, put ice all over it, and taking the blood from her. And on the way home, like after we get her to where she's stable and can walk and all that, on the way home, she tells me to pull over on the side of the interstate. I'll pull over on the side of the interstate, and at this point, you know, this is before we knew she had cancer and all this. We were doing the Hormone Logics blood test at that point, but so I got my phone out. I'm laughing at her, you know, trying to trying to give me a good video of her.
You would, you know.
And her eyes roll back in her head on the side of the interstate, and she rolls down the hill in a ditch. So at this point, I'm like, I don't film anymore. I put my phone up and I run around there, and as soon as I go to pick her up, she just throws up in the air all over everything. I'm like, oh my.
At least it was just like water, because I didn't eat nothing. It was
everywhere.
Terrible.
At that point, I just wanted to throw the whole grill away. It was
What?
I'm just kidding. But yeah, so that was our first blood test experience. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Since then, she's done it like 3 times without passing out.
Yeah. I gotta get used to it, because I think before chemo they have to check your white blood cell count or
I
something.
almost feel like this is God's way of showing you how to do blood tests, you know?
That's a way of showing me how to do blood tests, I guess.
Give you a new blood test every day.
Oh man, it's definitely opening up a new world.
But you know, if you don't see Lizzy out there at these No Prep Kings events coming up, just know that she might be sitting in a chemo chair for 3 hours, you know, fighting for her life. So y'all just support her, and I'm gonna be there every time she goes. So
I'm gonna try to be as strong as I can through this, but we'll see. They said about 12 rounds of chemo I think I have to do.
we're just gonna be doing the best we can this year. Lizzy's gonna have a fight on her hands. I'm gonna be right there behind her, fighting with her. And if Lizzy's not in the No Prep Kings race, and you see me there, and I'm not in a good mood, it's because I'm ready to leave there and get back to her. So y'all just support us through this year and let her fight this cancer, and we'll come out swinging next year for sure.
Lizzy does want to document her whole journey so y'all can see the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that.
I'll
So
see her with this nice, pretty blonde hair now. That won't be here soon. Y'all get to see that. I think y'all get to see us shave it off. We're gonna shave our heads with her just so she knows she's not alone. And every little thing that we see new, because I mean we don't know cancer. This is new to us. We're race car drivers, but every little thing that we see that can bring awareness to you or your family, and we feel like it'd save a life while Lizzy is saving her life. We're definitely gonna let y'all know about it. We're gonna document it, post it on the channel. So make sure y'all like, subscribe, and follow her journey. She's in good spirits now, so
yeah, right now until Friday.
pretty sure I'll get a lot of ass chewings along the way, but I'll still be there. So
Just know I love you and I appreciate you.